Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included on the thermal preview update, or thermal update preview. I believe last time we were working on getting some storage for some batteries and a place to put all of our power. I do plan on expanding a bit while we're here, and let's get started. Just a quick look at the oxygen overlay. We are still producing quite a bit of oxygen, and it does seem to be pushing out over here. Or not. That's not really moving. Is this increasing? No, that's actually going down. That is a bit odd. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and prioritize this so we've got a place to put our batteries, and go ahead and start building a few up there. That should be plenty for now. And I'm not sure how important it is to have heavy watt wire versus electrical wire, but I'm going to do heavy watt wire, and I'm going to do every other go down and up on the others. I'm going to connect these out to the center, or get them ready to connect out to the center. There we go. And that should distribute the load a little bit. I do want to go ahead and connect them so that they'll go ahead and fill up. Need to get these guys to sweep this mess up as well. It looks like we're getting kind of low on storage, so I may just go ahead and extend that as well. There we go. And our research is complete. We just researched liquid piping, and I'm going to go ahead and get interior decor taken care of real quick, and then we'll turn on our supercomputer. I honestly would not mind going ahead and not have enough. I'm missing some raw metal. We will prioritize that a bit. There we go. That should give us plenty of metal. And since we've got some food down here, may want to go ahead and harvest that as well. Oh, it's not harvestable yet. So we'll go ahead and sweep that. I'm still hoping that we're going to get another halfway decent duplicate here real soon. A patch did just come out for this update, and it fixed quite a few things. It was mostly involving the new heavy watt wires and things like that, keeping it from breaking things. Well, that's odd. That is not going away. Let's cancel that so they don't get stuck doing that. It is an update preview, so weird things can happen. There seem to be a few invisible blocks over here. I do believe that means we can build this airlock. Want to build that airlock and go ahead and block that off. Let's go ahead and have them dig this out as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, they will be able to reach all of that. And apparently we've still got insufficient oxygen generation. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them build a gas pump up here and have them pipe that out. And let's see, we also need power. And I'm hoping it doesn't take the heavy watt. And we've got a new duplicate available. Let's see who we have. Okay, all three are destructive, so we are going to reject all. We have finished our research, I do believe. Yes, we have. So let's go ahead and set this one to go. And I'm thinking, since it is the thermal update, we are going to go ahead and research temperature modulation. We haven't run into anything that's going to require anything else on this list just yet. I would actually like to have this water purifier, but I think we can hold off on that for a little bit. Okay, and got the oxygen, there we go. No wire connected. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these electrical wires and set it to a very high priority, and go ahead and connect it. We may still actually be having an issue with quantity. There we go. And I want to cancel this invisible block again. Is complaining, no fabrications queued. There we go. That will work. What was that? I swear I just heard something crash, and I'm not entirely sure what that was. Look at our oxygen overlay. Yeah, they're still having some issues there. So we've already got quite a few of these, and they're producing a ton of oxygen. So I think our primary need here is to go ahead and bring this up and then branch it out to both sides. We'll let them get to that as they need to. I wouldn't mind having on a low priority digging this out so they can get to that water eventually. How's our food? 26,000 kilocalories. We're doing okay. Oh, and they're just grabbing food off the ground to eat. Good. So what do we have new in our decor? We've got a blank canvas, sculpting block, flower vase, tasteful memorial. Hopefully we won't need that memorial. Mess tables, definitely something good to have. I think, though, I'm just going to build some of these blank canvases. Probably here and here. And definitely at least one there. And maybe one right there as well. Speaking of, let's take a look at our jobs and see who's actually halfway decent at art. We currently do not have somebody who's good at art, so we will turn them all off and get around to it later. I think a new duplicate would make a huge change right there. Maybe you want to prioritize this up a bit, so they'll go ahead and take that out. I did want to go ahead and make some more algae terrariums since we are doing so poorly on our oxygen generation. How's our stress doing? It's mostly Ren. No, that's Frankie. Where is Ren? Dirty hands, grimy, and light wounds. That's right. That's what we were going to research. Next, we were going to research the med bay. How's the temperature modulation doing? Temperature modulation is doing fine. Yeah, med bay. I hate to change part way through, but he's got light wounds and that's causing him stress. More stress, more bad. We really don't have a whole bunch consuming power right now. It's just these research stations and this lamp here. Speaking of that lamp, I do need to go ahead and put in another floor lamp and some more algae terrariums. Let's take a look at our priorities and bump this up a bit. Actually, I need to drop that painting back down to a 5. And at the end of that, I do need to put in a, where's the gas vent on a high priority. Cannot put the gas vent there, so I will need to extend that pipe by at least 1. There we go, we have a gas pump and an outlet, or almost an outlet. A pipe. There we go. Get that sucker done. We need to get you guys some oxygen. Boom! Let's watch it go. There we go, repressurizing. That's good. And hopefully that'll push our CO2 down a bit. Scalding? Why are you scalding? Oh, you are quite hot. Let's take a look at our temperature overlay and figure out why. Okay, it is 75 degrees Celsius, which is quite a bit unreasonably hot. And that's probably also stressing our little dude out. Which means we need to take a look at thermoregulation soon. Maybe not right this moment, but soon. If you can deal with it, that would be great. Is there a quick way? We have a thermoregulator. We're just going to go ahead and push through with the thermoregulator. As soon as we have a thermoregulator, we can go ahead and start pumping cold air into there. We will, however, probably need to put them in over here and just let this get as hot as it needs to get. How's our oxygen doing? That is looking excellently. That tells me we do need to go ahead and put in a gas vent over here. Still scalding. That's not very good. Low concentration over here. That's perfectly fine. Is there a way to adjust how fast that's going? I do not see one. There is a gas valve that we can get to eventually. Taking overheat damage. Supercomputer is overheating and it is producing a ton of heat. So I will, well, as soon as we're done researching, we'll be able to take care of that. Oh, I feel terrible. And it actually needs a repair due to overheating damage. Inapplicable research. Let's disable that building real quick. Hopefully that'll produce less heat. Take a look at our temperature overlay. That is still extremely hot. Is that going down at all? It is going down ever so slightly. Why is that so cold? See, the outhouse is 15 degrees. That's compost. Compost is actually 2 degrees. The outhouse is 9.8 degrees. Why is that so cold? We got some cold down here too, which is good. It must be because of that ice biome over here. We may be able to put in another piece over here to move all of that cold air out instead of using a thermoregulator. Let's try that. Yes, I understand that you're scalding. I will try to help. Actually, I need to see pressure. Pressure there is okay. We should be okay to put one of these in here. But that's going to mean a ton of gas piping. Actually... Oh, too far. And I want to put a vent in right there. And I also need to get some power to this thing over here. How much power does that actually take? That takes 240 watts. What is this rated for? Does it say? Max power 1000 watts. 2 kilowatts on that one. That's nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and build some regular old electrical wire. And I do not actually want to run that through the floor. There we go. It doesn't really matter what kind of air this is as long as it cools it over there. And we want to bump the priority. Research complete. Actually, if we've got our research complete, we may be able to get by with not doing that just yet. We have temperature modulation research complete. Oh, and a textile factory. And a thermo hydro fan dissipates a small amount of the heat. I've never actually used one of those. And liquid tepidizer marginally warms large bodies of liquids, and a thermo switch. Automates switching power grids on and off based off ambient heat. Not entirely sure the best way to use that, so I'm just going to ignore that at the moment and take a look at our temperature modulation over here. Probably under utilities. Yes, it is. Does that require water? I don't know. I actually really don't know. But let's change our priority real quick down to something a bit more reasonable. There we go. And bump the priority of this little guy to 9. And start back up. And we've got a new duplicant available. Destructive, vomiter. Oh, that is a lot of bad things. And mouth breather right there is enough to kick them out. So we're going to reject all. Let's take a look at our temperature overlay. Awaiting material delivery water. Oh, so that's going to dissipate water. Wow. Let's bump that up. I don't know how much that's going to take. How's that doing? That is definitely dropping, which is good. And let's go ahead and open up our research and go ahead and let them go ahead and finish. Let's see, sanitation sciences, because we needed to get to the med bay. Med bay is important. Food has decayed. Our mush bar has disappeared, and we are starting to get low on calories. So we'll go ahead and set that slightly above average and see how long it takes them to go ahead and make themselves a little bit more food. I would really like to be able to go ahead and make some insulated tiles. I feel like that would be very handy very soon because we're going to be making a lot of heat. And you are cold. Why are you cold? We're going to bump this priority back down to 5. Take a look at our temperature overlay, and it is quite cold there. It is no, no surprise there why it's that cold. Let's go ahead and priorities have disappeared. Let's get rid of the temperature overlay so maybe they'll pop back up and drop that back down. That's good, but that also means that we absolutely do not need that. You can stop working on that. Okay. And it's a low priority. That's good. Let's take a look at our oxygen, see how that's doing. This is not got a whole bunch of oxygen. But that should be okay because this is sufficient. Let's go ahead and harvest this little guy. Yeah. And sweep down here. There's a lot of good stuff that we need to get packed up and gone. I wonder if disabling that will help. We're definitely going through a lot of power really fast. There it continues to pump out. Let's see, how is that? That is doing okay. Pressure down here is low, but that's just fine. And we do absolutely need to go ahead and get these done. I know we were low on raw metal. And I do believe that this being orange means that we are in fact low for what we need to get done. We may need to 9 these out so that they have a place to put those. What are these waiting for? It doesn't say that they're waiting on anything. Okay, they're getting some work done on the new storage. And I think one of my next steps is, as soon as they're done with this water, we're going to force them to go ahead and break into this, which is good, because we've got all that space to put things and all that water to be used. And I'm going to use this as a contaminated water drop-off, and I'm going to seal the top. So close, so close. What's new in here? Ooh, textile factory. Nice. How is the temperature in here? That's still quite cold. -39 degrees Celsius. That hydro fan works way better than it should. I'll just put it that way. It's actually still going down? How is it still going down if there's work pending on it? Does it say? Dissipates a small amount of heat. That's all it says. Temperature, that's just what it currently is. Specific heat capacity. Huh. I don't know. I don't know how that's still cooling things, but wow. I did not expect that to work anywhere near as good as it did. Let's go ahead and slap one of these in there just in case. And I need to check that again. That's weird that it keeps doing that. And change the priority down here to, oh, that is 5. So it seems as though they separated the build priority and the built priority. It used to be that if you set a priority when it gets built, it maintains that priority until you change it. We need to dig all this stuff out because we're low on algae. Do we have any more algae in the immediate area? We have slime, but no, I do not. There we go, there's some algae. That will work. There's some algae right there. There's some algae right here. There's some algae right there. I hate to lose this plant, but I need the algae. And I think on a 6, I may go ahead and have them bust into that algae. What gas is this? Hydrogen. Meaning that's probably going to stay up there if we do dig into it. How's our oxygen concentration? It is low around their houses, or their cots, and that is back up to a reasonable level. We will go ahead and re-enable. Is that contaminated oxygen? That is polluted oxygen. We may need to go ahead and put in a manual airlock on a high priority right about there. So I would prefer that not to make it into our base just yet. It doesn't have a whole bunch of anything in there anyway. And let's look at our temperature overlay. That's cool as a cucumber. We can actually leave that. Oh! Yes! You don't have to cycle through those options anymore. I did not particularly care for those because I very frequently put it on the wrong thing. It actually shows you current setting and pending setting. That is nice. How are we doing on food? We are still a little low on food, so I'm going to let them keep going ahead and doing that. I wonder if I can go ahead and put in another hydro fan right there. Looking at our temperature overlay, this is still fairly cool. That's kind of hot, but it's not anything crazy. That is still very hot. And we've got a new duplicant available. Let's see who we've got. All three are destructive again, so we are going to reject all again. Come on, get us a vomiter. What are our priorities right now? We are digging out some algae, which is good. Let's see. After algae, we've got power and food production. And that's about it. We do need to. We're having them do that. I do want to go ahead and get them to build, well, maybe on a 7. At least a battery. Outside of that, I mean, these 2 batteries are doing quite well, but they drain out fairly quick, so that means folks like Frankie here are busy generating power most of the day. The more time they spend generating power, the more CO2 they produce. And I would also like to look into coal power. This is not... Oh. I want to leave it. I want to leave it enabled. Currently, research has not progressed in a while. Okay, good morning, Cycle 19. This, I do believe, is going to be the last day that we're going to have in this episode. I like to do about 10, and our time's okay. I'm not sure how it's going to be after editing, but I do think we're going to run just a hair long. What was that? I don't see any messes. Food has decayed. Not a big fan of the decaying food. So we've got some power here. What kind of heat is it producing? 20 watts. It's not rising quick. It's relatively stable. What's this guy's priority? It's a 6. Let's put that on a 7 and put that on a 7. I'm not a huge fan of bumping it up like that, but I think it was necessary. Our oxygen concentration is okay. Maybe I need to wall this off. I may just try that. And I know I'm throwing a lot at these guys, but they can handle it. Hopefully it just doesn't get out of hand here. Priorities on these. Get that done. And I do believe that we can put a regular power line over to that, but if we do that, we are actually going to need a chunk of tile under here, and I gotta prioritize everything the same in this area. It sounds like something is running out of power fairly regularly. Oh no, another one of those infinite blocks. No wonder we get stuck. Devs, if you see this, that is an issue. Unminable blocks. In all of my other playthroughs, I have had no issues with a unminable block, but I've run into quite a few today. Man, he's not making any headway. Is this just sucking up power? Let's put a pause on this real quick. There's an easy way to tell. Hit that, it takes 240 watts. How much does this produce? That seems to produce 400 watts. I'm gonna re-enable that and hope for the best. short a power outlet. Just get that done real quick. There we go. We've got power. So in total, how much power are we using? 240, 250 watts. Plus these two. Oh, this building is disabled. That could help. How is our research doing? We have all of the top level research and none of the lower level research. That would be why. That would be an issue. Still quite cold over there. Let's disable this building while that one completes its research. It does seem as though we are filling this up just a little bit. How's the power going down? It is all over the place. Let's disable this and see if that fixes it. As soon as I get back to running again. Do the big batteries now disappear power? We will find out soon. Hopefully before the end of this cycle, because we're already a day over. Let's see. The big battery literally eats power. Because it never built up this much when we had the big battery enabled. Take a look at our oxygen overlay. Can we turn off that pump? We can absolutely turn this pump off for a brief period. That will help. And I'm going to re-enable that just in case. They should be building up quite a bit of power here. And that's going to do it for us today, folks. I enjoyed making this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope to bring you more good stuff coming on Monday, since the release schedule for Oxygen Not Included is Mondays and Wednesdays. So I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.